What's going on, y'all? This your boy Tony Black, voice of the block, and right now, you tuned in to Ghetto Gossip, man. We're gonna be talking about that boy Foolio, how he had and got hit up June 23rd. And that's the same time, but not the same time, but the same date. A couple years ago, that Youngin Ace and his crew got hit up when they was cruising. You know, three guys hadn't lost their life, and one guy hadn't got hit up. That's not normal. That's not no normal coincidence. You want me to tell you what that is? That's the kind of get back that'll make a motherfucker be in the mid of a sentence. Stop talking and forget everything that he's saying and be like, what the fuck you just said? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, Ace say that him and Foolio was close, not real close, not rap close, not internet close, not real life close, not homie close. You get what I'm saying? They was just close enough for him to say, hey, you need to get out the streets. You need to find another hobby. You ain't really about this. I mean, that's the type of talk that Ace was trying to give Foolio. But we know Foolio was stepping. If Foolio was stepping, y'all make sure y'all get his light. If y'all think Foolio was stepping. Because he told Foolio that Foolio need to move smarter.
Think about Foolio dying, cuz. That shit sad. Twin, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all boys in the street, y'all need to leave the streets alone, twin. All condone and shit like that. But y'all just gotta stay. Y'all gotta. It's so funny, cause me, bro, like we cool, like we was cool and shit. You feel me? Me, him, like we cool and shit. I was just so funny. I was just talking to them, like, bro, you gotta stop the way, bro. You know, a nigga love y'all here, like stop the way, real shit. Like, you know, I fuck with you, real shit, stop the way.
June 23rd is a day with so much blood on it because of what happened to them guys in the car, and then with Foolio, and then you got Sean Gathright, one of the hitmen, the guy that set the whole thing up out there. We ain't talking about who paid for it. He had military training, bro, not street tactics. He ain't just pick up the gun, go in the backyard, and shoot it for fun with his homeboys and his family members. He ain't do that type of training with the weapon. This dude had real deal military training. And let me tell you something, bro. That's gonna change everything in the court of the law. When he step in that courtroom, it's gonna be a whole bunch of chaos when they bring up them evidence about that dude, man. The evidence, what evidence? Military training. Do y'all know what military training come with? Do y'all know that shit come with discipline? Oh, you don't know that because you ain't disciplined, right? What about a strategy? That's what it come with too. You gotta strategize, and them boys strategized. Them boys came with a plan, and they executed, and it worked very well. They thought every move out thoroughly. They thought every angle out and say, hey, this is how it's gonna be. You're gonna be over there, I'm gonna be over here. Yeah, they mapped it out, bro.
This barrage of gunfire also struck 3 additional victims who miraculously survived this incident. This is at the hotel, and you can see the shooters are getting in position for their planned out murder. And they are shooting at Charles now, and you can see that he's a passenger in that car that's moving and trying to flee. And again, they're still shooting at him. He's the right front passenger in that vehicle. It's clear from that video what they were set out to do and what they had planned to do. The investigation would later reveal that the 3 armed shooters were Sean Gathright, Rashard Murphy, and Davion Murphy.
That's how it go when you get military training. You don't just go out and shoot the weapon. That's not where they do that at. That's where they do that at in the streets. See, where he got the type of training where you position yourself, you control your aim, and you let it go. So, in other words, Foolio didn't even stand a chance that night, bro. And the streets ain't used to that type of structure. The way that they did that, Foolio wasn't ready for it. Nobody will be ready for no type of shit like that. Them boys was on a mission that night. And they mission, they executed, man. They executed. They took out Foolio. They came with a plan. It was premeditated, and they gonna all get what they deserve. They all gonna get what they deserve. You know, they treated Foolio like he wasn't nothing, bro. And the way that Sean Gathright was moving, he controlled the whole situation. Listen, we want Foolio gone, and we gonna make sure that Foolio gone, and Foolio ain't coming back. Isaiah, none of them boys, especially Sean, ain't gonna stand a chance in the courtroom because this is behind gang banging, street related. You know, they had high powered military weapons. You know, them boys came to slide, and that detail and the other detail with them weapons that they had, and with him being in the military, they gonna use them evidence, bro. Them boys wasn't playing. Them boys was real deal serious military training. What y'all think about that, man? Let me know. 18 months later, we still talking about Foolio. And we still talking about Foolio, and none of his homeboys ain't even slide for him. None of his homeboys ain't even talk about or try to get back. All of his homeboys sat there and watched him die. So did they care? Hell no, they didn't care. They sat there and watched Foolio get taken out the way that Foolio get taken out, and they ain't even respond to it how real street niggas is supposed to respond to it. They ain't even no action, you know. They just went ghost. The last time we heard about them was when Foolio got knocked off. Now this is a long time. Long enough time for y'all boys to have to set some shit up, you know, for us to have heard something, you know, but we ain't heard nothing, man. We just heard crickets. That's all we hearing. Like, y'all, if y'all really love Foolio, man, if Foolio really had people watching his back the way that he will watch y'all back, why y'all ain't moving if y'all really love Foolio? Y'all know Foolio. Do y'all know Foolio would have stepped up for y'all? And it wouldn't have even took Foolio 18 months to step up for y'all, because Foolio would have been like, man, bro, nah, that's too long. Huh? Y'all know that? Y'all know that Foolio would have slid if that shit would have happened to one of his homeboys. But y'all wasn't his real homeboys. He was y'all real homeboy. Yeah. Foolio just a memory to y'all. Y'all just want to wear his shirt and scream RIP Foolio, you know. And if the risk's too high for you to take, so what? You drove down here with him. Stand your ground. You know, represent, you know, 6. Represent it, you know what I'm saying? That's if you love Foolio. You know, that's if you give a fuck about Foolio. The streets learning a little bit. What they learning? Don't move without thinking. But what I'm trying to say is 18 months is a long enough time to think. You know, you had time enough to think, hey, if I step wrong, this can happen. We can retaliate how they retaliated, get back, because Foolio ain't have a chance. If we get back how they did it, they won't have a chance, you know. I'm just saying, I ain't trying to push no violence, but I thought the streets was the streets, and the streets gonna ride whenever, and I thought the streets don't care. That's why I said that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. You know, if them boys supposed to be real deal from the streets, what's going on? I'm not pushing violence. I'm gonna say it again. I'm not pushing violence. I said it 3 times, but you know, y'all gotta help me understand. If y'all understand where I'm coming from, y'all make sure that y'all talk to me in the comment section. Y'all make sure y'all get us a like so more people can see this in the algorithm, man. It's your boy Tony Black, voice of the block. I'm out. Peace.